Hey there, Cancer. It's Empress Rose. I'm back from my 2-week hiatus. Everything feels a little strange now coming back. So we're just going to do, these are general readings. That's very important to keep in mind. I love doing personal readings, but these are general readings. So they may resonate, they may not resonate. There may be parts of it that will be for you, where you can gather some tool or some idea that you can use for whatever situation you're in now. And then there will be parts that won't make sense to you, or you don't see how that's the case. So these general readings are a little tricky that way. I'm just going to do straight tarot reading here today, no extended, just going to do the tarot. That's all. All right, what do we have for Cancer this week? Queen of Wands, highly intuitive person, very in touch with their intuition. There's a lot of growth there. They have their own vision. That's their main focus, their own creativity, their own vision. There's a bit of a mother vibe here with this. This person does not show off. They may have quite a bit of ability, but they're not showing off. This might be you, this might be somebody else in your situation. Typically people are drawn to this person despite them not really being a big giant show off. But they're very creative, intuitive, spiritual. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Okay. In the recent past, we have Wheel of Fortune reversed. So typically the tarot talks about Wheel of Fortune in the upright or reverse. Since it's a wheel, it's just, we can rotate it and it's still the same thing. It can be really good luck. I think though that Wheel of Fortune in the reverse can also be a little bit of bad luck. So, but sometimes we don't know what the good luck is and what the bad luck is. Something that may seem unlucky, this might be indicating something that has seemed unlucky might actually turn out being lucky. So you maybe thought that something wasn't turning out for your benefit, or wasn't exactly what you wanted, or you drew the short straw. It may in fact turn out, with this card showing up right here in the reverse, it may in fact turn out to be actually pretty good, a pretty lucky shot there. Something good happening that maybe at first blush doesn't look like it. So in the past you may have had a little bit of bad luck, but I would expect whatever happened back there to actually have a lot of benefits for you. This may be something that you need to consider, seeing something that felt like bad luck. Consider another perspective on it. You know, maybe you were forced into a situation where you had to move, but the new situation is actually going to be much better for you, and you wouldn't have made that move if this other event hadn't happened. So something, you know, like that. In your current situation, you have Knight of Cups. So some sort of heartfelt communication. Our Knight is about primarily communication, and the Cups is about emotions, our feelings. So this could be a love note, this could be any sort of communication, this could just be appreciation. You may be being appreciated right now. It's a Knight, so it's a person, someone has a message of appreciation either for you, or you have that message for somebody else. So there's some sort of communication about appreciation and liking what someone has to offer. Yeah, appreciation is what I see here. A song of appreciation and affection. Someone's expressing affection. In your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, we have Two of Wands. So this to me talks about the Wands. Of course, we have this Queen of Wands over here. So we have two people here. We have a Knight of Cups, very bold, brave communication of appreciation, someone taking a chance. And then the Queen of Wands. But this is Two of Wands. So this is, so we are getting the inspiration. So, but two, oftentimes in our little sort of Kabbalah tree of life here, we've got two up here, and two can be more of like second guessing something. In most of the suits, there's one that's the exception. But so Two of Wands, we've gotten the vision, we've gotten the One of Wands, we have the vision But how are we going to get there? What's the plan? The plan looks almost impossible. So you may be having a vision, an idea of something that you want to accomplish or do, or someplace you want to go, but it seems almost impossible that you're going to get there. So you're hoping to get there, but it does seem like a very big task, and that there's huge barriers to where you would like to go. There's a dream, you have it in your hand, but how to get there? Your dreams may seem bigger than reality right now. Like what you want to do is, you might be struggling to come up with how this is all going to work. How would it happen? And the temptation when something seems a little too big like that is to just be like, oh no, that won't work, and just dismiss it out of hand. So I guess what I'm feeling here, a message with this Knight of Cups, this like offer of appreciation, and you thinking like this is just impossible, maybe because you've had bad luck in the past, maybe because things haven't worked out in the past, and you thinking something is impossible. The temptation there would be to just go, oh no, I can't, but thank you very much. I would consider at least ask if you can get back to somebody, is what I would consider. If it seems impossible, don't dismiss it out of hand. It's easy to do when an opportunity or when a message comes in, especially if the dream just seems too big and you're not sure what any of the details are, and it seems like too far away, too distant, is just too big of a dream. It's sort of a little bit of what's going on is you're not sure you can get there and do something that you want to do. What's the issue here? We got reverse 8 of Cups. So not moving forward. So yeah, again, that's what I'm seeing here. The dream seems too distant, and we have these both looking at their intuition, looking at the dream, the message. This one in the upright is heading towards it. This one's really daunted, but we have this in the reverse. So even though both of these characters are looking at their dream, this one's not moving towards it. Again, it's that issue of that just seems impossible, right? That I would get from here to here. This is the moon. That I would get all the way there. That just seems impossible. Here, the dream is there, but it seems so distant and so far away that there's no movement towards it. So that's what's at issue, is not moving towards a dream. Having a dream, you have the dream, is just too big. It just feels really big. So you're not making any moves towards it, right? Here we have step by step by step by step. We move out of the area we're in towards something that's calling to us. You've received the calling. Oh, this is the refusal of the call. You've received the calling, but you're not taking movement towards it. I think because the calling feels too big and too distant. How would I ever get there? I want to go to the moon, but I don't even know where to begin. Well, first of all, you begin with 70 years of work towards that thing through history and that kind of thing. Like you're not going alone. So 8 of Cups is like not satisfied with where you're at, having a vision, but not moving towards it, not taking even baby steps. Baby steps, we can go a long ways with baby steps. So in your environment, we have the Fool in reverse. So there may not be an offer. You may have a dream, but there's nothing concrete. There's not... what you may not realize is that there's just, or there's a sense of somebody's not looking at the pitfalls here. Someone's not even acknowledging the pitfalls. The foolish would want to be taking a chance. And here we have someone, possibly not you, but the environment either isn't offering an opportunity to move forward, right? Again, we have our Fool over here. So we've got the little, this is our third eye, our intuition here. With this 2 of Wands, we've got a little intuition here. And we're doing some second guessing here of like, we've received the call, the Fool, but maybe you haven't received the call. Maybe you've gotten an expression of appreciation, but you haven't actually received the call, so you're not moving forward yet. And it seems too far away. It seems very daunting and difficult. We're way up here when what we want, we're trying to make our way down here to full manifestation of something that we want, but we are sort of up here still, fiddling around with just the beginning of a process and the call. And I'd want to say, like, this Wheel of Fortune Above the reverse wheel of fortune, above the reverse fool, is a little, it does look a little like bad luck, but there is like an expression of appreciation, but it feels like maybe the dream or maybe the vision, the call isn't very clear. It hasn't come yet. Maybe someone said they like this would be like going for a job interview and someone's like, yeah, I really liked that, right? They're expressing appreciation, but they're not offering the job. You have this big dream, you're not moving forward, and it's possible because there's not really anything on offer right now. In your current situation, we have the Devil, number 15. This is, or your to-do list. This would be looking at contracts very carefully. This would also be dealing with anything that has you feeling stuck and trapped. So that could be coming from within or coming from without. It's anything that makes you feel stuck and trapped. And needing to take a closer look at that is what the Devil is asking us to do, and deal with whatever is making us feel stuck. So that can be in the mind, obsessions, ideas, maybe even preconceived ideas of what something needs to look like, and being very rigid in that you can't sort of break free from something. It could be feelings of hopelessness, feelings of maybe even depression that keep you kind of stuck in a place, needing to deal with that. It could also be contracts. So if there's a contract involved, especially with the Fool in reverse, I would definitely be taking a very close look at the contract, because the Fool in reverse tells me that something about this opportunity, if an opportunity comes, it needs to be carefully considered. If it comes at all, it needs to be carefully considered. So the Devil is dealing with maybe even addictions to your own helplessness, to feeling like you can't do things. So Devil is something very easy to get into, but very hard to get out of. And that's what you're looking at, taking a closer look at the ways in which you feel stuck and trapped, because you definitely feel overwhelmed here. I have the intuition, but I don't know how to get there. So any sense of feeling overwhelmed, of not wanting, of not feeling like even these baby steps are doable, looking at that, right? We're stuck, we're trapped here. So we need to look at what's causing that. So that's what this reading is telling you, is to take a closer look at where you feel stuck. And it can be addictions, anything. So where you're headed is, I love this. This is the World. This can be travel, big travel, not little travel. This can be travel, might be coming up for you. This can also be the completion, ending of a large, not just a chapter of your life, but like a whole book of your life, and some sort of ending coming up here, which is really cool. I like to see it next to the Devil card, because the Devil card has you trapped, and this has you completing something, finishing something up. And yeah, finishing something up. So you may have a contract that you need to look at, like make sure you're doing like the whole sort of rubric and dotting your I's and crossing your T's, whatever contracts or agreements you've signed in the past, in order to finish them up and complete something. So you know, if you're a contract worker or something like that, this would be like, take another look at what you agreed to do. It's not going to be easy to get out of. And you maybe need to make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and then you can get out of it. So this has you trapped, and this has you completing something. So you maybe are stuck in a situation right now, and you need to look at, you know, what's trapping you there. And sometimes those aren't really your fault. Sometimes they are contracts and external things that you need to look at, and then dealing with sort of what what you're required to do or what you need to deal with can bring you into some sort of completion. Also, dealing with addiction issues or something like that can also help you put those in the rear view mirror, and move on with your life, and move on with completing other cycles and doing something new with your life. But we're completing a whole chapter of your life here. There are things there are requirements or something like that coming in, and you have to complete that. You're not moving forward, and part of it, right, with this coming in, you're not moving forward, and this could be possibly because you can't, because you still have commitments in this place, even though something's calling you forward, and it may feel very overwhelming what's calling you forward, like the next chapter of your life may feel very overwhelming. But this is saying that you still have things to finish up here before you really get to close out this chapter and before you really get to move on. So some of the barriers could be internal, like the sense of overwhelm over the larger project of what's going on. And some of them could be external, as far as like contracts and needing to make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's and fulfilling whatever agreements you have to fulfill in order for you to move on. Once you fulfill those, though, it looks like you can move on to a totally different era of your life or a totally different chapter. This is a general reading, so it could be a chapter, it could be a book. If we were talking personal, I'd say something else, but I'd get a clearer sense of what that is. But we're talking general. So so completing that. And then, you know what, let's go for a little wild Kuan Yin here. For a final little moment. Good fortune granted. I love it, especially with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. Just as there are physical seasons upon the earth, the soul too goes through its seasons. And that's what a little bit of what I'm getting here is that there's one season, you may be looking forward to summer, but you've got to complete your tasks in spring. Like if you want a harvest in fall, you're gonna have to complete the planting, or if you want to harvest in fall, you're gonna have to complete the watering and weeding. Like there's details to be attended to that you can't easily get out of. Spring in the soul heralds a time of birth. New ideas, new inspirations, new energy to take action, new life, new connections, new gifts abound. New life and good fortune are headed your way. I love this because this reading is bookended by Wheel of Fortune, feeling possibly stuck, like the wheels, the turning. And that's what I'm seeing too here with this World card. We've got nice flow, we've got completion, we've got the orbits being completed. And here we've also got some orbits, but they could have been feeling a little jammed in your recent past. But now we have a completion. But I think in order to get this wheel turning again, you're going to need to do some work on some of the more detail. You're going to have to be a little detail oriented here, and see where you might be stuck, because this definitely has you being stuck here. So yeah, so I think, and then this one, the World card, right? If we're talking about our big pinball machine, this is the reset. This is where the ball leaves the pinball machine and goes back to resting upon the spring and ready for the new thing. The spring and ready for the new thing. So this is completing one cycle through our little Kabbalah pinball machine, and then we complete it, and then we get to rest. So at the beginning, we're all up here with this like idea, and then our Devil card is over here. So we're dealing with like the heart. I'm heading into, if we're going to face a crisis, the Devil is sort of in denial about what's coming up and what some of the issues are. So it's asking you to look at those things. And then we complete. So actually, we doodle around up here quite a bit, and then there's some completion available. But for now, you might be a little stuck and a little trapped. But it is going to be over someday, and you'll get this whole new spring. So good fortune granted. I love it. See you guys in a while.